2003 to 2009. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Really appreciate it. So you had to deal not just with the issue of immigration, you specifically had to deal with the issue of Haitian immigration in particular in the wake of an earthquake in 2010. So this is familiar terrain for you. Am I wrong in saying that, there has to be some sort of solution other than to say, no matter how many people cross the border illegally, that we have to let them stay in the country and wait for a hearing?
Right. It's a very difficult situation. And I feel for Secretary Mayorkas, who, like anyone in his position, gets caught between the right and the left. But I think a few things are apparent. One is that we should know beforehand when there's a large group about ready to hit our border, so that we have moved staffing down to the border to deal with them, both from a humanitarian perspective, but also from an enforcement perspective. Two is, to the extent individual agents violated policy or their training, that needs to be dealt with, and I'm confident that it will. Three is, we need to make some hard decisions about which of the Haitians will be allowed in the country to apply for asylum versus those that should be deported, and then deported to where? And I think there's a question there, since many of these Haitians, to my understanding, did not actually come from Haiti, but had been living for years in South America. So returning them to Haiti, I think, is particularly problematic for that population.
But understood. I think that's valuable information in terms of those 3 points. But let me come back to something, because, again, as you know, when it comes to the immigration debate, everything seems to be discussed in absolutes, right? In terms of you let them all in, you let no one in, right? You have to do everything, you have to do nothing. And that's actually not the way that it possibly can work. So do you think that inevitably, when you get this many people coming to the border, and as you point out, not prepared for it properly, that you're going to have to send some of them out? Meaning that in a perfect world, agents would get an opportunity to interview every one of them, right? And they'd be able to make their initial assessment about whether, for example, asylum could be warranted. That's a perfect world. That's not the world we happen to be living in. And so it seems to me that the solutions are just one of two things. Either you decide we're going to be sending a large number of people back somewhere, or we're going to let everyone stay. And at least from my perspective, and you're much more of an expert on this than I am, it would seem that you have to be planning to send a good number, many thousands of people back without a hearing.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with that, Dan. I think under the law, they're entitled to a hearing if they pass that initial questioning. So I think what you need to do is move staff from around the country to the border to conduct those hearings, to deal with that population. You have to work the problem, and it's tough, and there are going to be tough decisions that people don't like that need to be made, but they need to be made within the confines of our law.
But it seems to me that we just don't have the resources to do that. I mean, at least in the immediate situation, right? So the reason that the Biden administration seems to be taking advantage of this Trump-era Title 42, which is not perfect for this kind of situation, is because they're simply at the least overwhelmed at the border, no?
I think that's why Title 42 is still being used. I think it's an operational issue. So I think what needs to be happening is that we need to be adding staff to the Border Patrol, to CBP, to adequately have the staff necessary to protect the border and ensure that our law is carried out at the border. And our law permits people applying for asylum to come in, to be questioned, to see whether they possibly qualify. If they possibly qualify, then they're let in conditionally. And you need the staff in order to be able to do that. Without the staff, then you have to rely on tactics like Title 42.
Right. And so solution one is increasing staffing. And that is clear as day, is that has to be number one. Secretary Napolitano, thank you so much for providing your insight. We really appreciate it.